Hello, good morning, everyone. Hello, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? All right, thank you very much. Good morning. I see Nosa Miracle Drake. Yes, you're welcome. Okay, you'll get to know in a minute. I see Wasil, Wealth, Angel. Thank you very much for that. Right, that's right. Pilot never enter cockpit. That's correct. Angel, thank you. Quite funny responses. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us this morning. Um, yeah, thank you. I see Jennifer too. Uh, it's a new trading week, and I want to believe we are doing very well today. I hope the new week has been great as well. I welcome you all to Taiwo Folarin. Thank you. You're welcome. Olajide Christopher Adewumi Wasiu. Thank you. Um, so for some of us that are just joining for the first time, this is our morning market review, and during we hold these sessions. There is audio raining word. You may have to check your end. Um, so during these sessions, we get to look at what's going on in the markets, and also a Penske. I hope I'm right. Good morning. You're welcome. So we get to look at what's going on in the markets, and also with a view that would be able to pick one or two entries, be able to pick one or two entries and trade ideas. Very important for today and even for the rest of the week. Okay, to understand what's happening in the markets, to understand the direction, and then we can be a friend of the trend. Okay, so like I said, it holds every Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. You get to meet with different analysts every day, 8 to 9. We spend one quality hour with our analysts. And we also hope that when you listen long enough, you participate here every day. You're also able to eventually come up with your own profitable strategies that would give you an edge over the market. All right, without further ado, let's get started immediately. So usually we start with Forex Factory to check out that's the economic calendar that we prefer to check out the important events, news that may impact prices for today, just for today. All right, so just a second while I switch to forexfactory.com to see if we have anything right there that is worth looking at. Okay, Forex Factory coming up in a minute. Share screen, Forex Factory share. Okay, so we have Forex Factory displayed right now. All right. Okay. Today, Tuesday, the 10th day of September. That's what we have right here. Uh, for me, I don't like all these news with low impact, all these yellow envelopes. So, to take care of that, especially if you're just joining us, I can easily come to filter right here at the top right corner of my screen. Click on filter, and then I can take out this gray. I don't want it. And I can also take out this yellow. Okay. Uh, let's see. Okay. Yes, you see it, this gray, non-economic. I'm not interested in that. And then it's usually for bank holidays. And then this one is low impact expected. I'm also not interested in that. I want the one with at least a medium impact. So that's why I'm going to take out the gray, take out the yellow as well, and then leave the brown and the red, and then click apply filter. Okay, so once I apply filter, all the yellow colors have disappeared, and then I only have the brown and the red. Okay, these are the ones that I'm interested in. All right. Yes, there was pounds news a minute ago. You're right. So let's look at what it's all about. This is Claimant count change. Claimant count change. And this news measures that's the change in the number of unemployed people that are receiving unemployment benefits in the UK. So if it is rising, if you look at the values here, look at the values here, we have previous, we have forecast, and we have actual. So if this value is rising, it indicates weakness in the UK labor market. That means unemployment is increasing. So a reading here that is higher than forecast, if this value were to be higher than the forecast, then it will be negative because it is unemployment. It will mean that unemployment has increased, and that would be bearish for the pounds. But on the other hand, a reading that is lower than forecast, as is the case right now, the forecast was 95,000, and then the actual came out a lot lower, and that's why you see this showing up as green. That means it is good. Unemployment claims actually dropped. That's what it means. And we expect this to be bullish for the pounds. We expect this to be bullish for the pounds. This news came out 7 a.m. So I'm sure the effect would be off already. And then what do we have? We also have for 1:10 p.m. for the Canadian dollar, the Bank of Canada governor should be Tiff Macklem, would be speaking at exactly 1:10 p.m. This is what we have here. Yeah, this is it right here. Bank of Canada Governor Macklem would be speaking at that time. So at that time, we may expect some volatility, especially for the CAD, based on whether the tone of the speech. As you can see, there is no data here. You can't see figures. And the reason is because this is a speech. It will be speaking. So what we'll be interested in for this speech would be the tone of his voice, whether it is hawkish or dovish. That's what we'll be looking out for to give us an idea of what their decisions would be as it regards, as it relates to interest rate decisions. And then we'll be able to follow through on that so that we can get clues as to what they are doing with interest rates, whether we are going to expect a cut or raise rates. Okay, so that's it for today, Tuesday, September 10th. So all eyes will be on this 1:10 p.m. for this speech. This already came out earlier, about an hour ago for the pounds. All right, so right about now, I'm going to head over to MT4 to see the technicals that we have, to see the technical setups that we have. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing for Forex Factory and then head over to MT4. Yeah, Emmanuel, that's it for pounds. For the news, I mean. Just a minute. Switching to MT4 right now. to our window. Okay. All right. So we have MT4. This is a Penske. Yes, there will be, like I said, we can expect some volatility. We can expect some impact for the Canadian dollar at 1:10 p.m. because of his speech. You know, yeah, it's more important because it's a speech. The person we're talking about is the Bank of Canada governor. And then when he's talking about the economy, is going to be giving us clues as to their interest rate decisions. And then a lot of traders would also interpret that on the chart. And then we can see some volatility and movement as well. So the speech is also quite important. It's also quite important. Mike, there's audio. You have to check your end. All right. So let's start from the dollar index. Let's start from the dollar index. US economy in recent times has been quite a mix. There's been some happenings. There's been some happenings since we got NFP report from the last one before the ones for August. We've seen a really bearish move right here. At that time, job growth came out at around 114,000, and it was a lot lesser than the expected value. I think the expected value at that time was 176. Unemployment rate too also ticked higher, got to about 4.3% from 4.1, the highest value we've seen since October of 2021. And what it simply means is that if you looking at the job numbers, companies are not hiring, inflation has gone down to some extent. So we expect that the Federal Reserve may start cutting rates. Initially, they were suggesting up to a 50 basis point, but currently people, our analysts are more in favor of maybe a 25% cut. We'll see how that plays out later in the month. But of course, this has impacted the dollar a lot. And then we can see this fall. It has fallen really badly. But we're seeing some strength. We're seeing some strength from this 2023 low. This low was actually from December, let's see, yes, from December 2023. That was when it got to this low. And then it got bullish from 2024. You say 2024, 0102. Okay, so since that time, we got this bullish move, giving us higher highs and higher lows, say from that 2023 low. I'm just giving us a little bit of background to this move. So we got a series of higher highs and higher lows right there. And then from this higher low now, we're supposed to get a new high. We're supposed to have gotten a new high, but that did not happen. So that was the first pointer that this uptrend would be changing pretty soon. And interestingly, we got a break below this trend line support, below this trend line support here, this one right here. We got this close below it. And then that was the beginning of it getting bearish. And all the way, let me take out all of this. Okay, so since we got this break below that trend line support, we started seeing series of lower highs and lower lows. We started seeing series of lower highs and lower lows. You see it all the way back to the 2023 support level that we got. You see it. This is the dollar index. This is for who? Yeah, Angel, this is the dollar index. This is USD. We can use this to understand the strength or weakness of the dollar itself. And then it will be easy to relate this to the major pairs. By major pairs, I mean pairs with USD as one of the currencies. All right. So we got this bearish move. We started seeing series of lower highs and lower lows all the way back to this critical support level. And then interestingly, price started pushing higher from there. Again, I'm going to take out this trend line. It's just to highlight those levels for us. Okay. Yeah. So since price returned to this critical support level that dates all the way back to 2023, end of 2023. Okay, we're now beginning to see some strength. And then when we got NFP this past Friday, when we got NFP, price again, we tested the same 100.5 level around that price area. And then since that time, we're beginning to see some strength. Now, all of this is happening on the daily time frame. This is happening on the daily time frame. Now, let's take this to 4 hours. Let's take this to 4 hours. Okay, so on 4 hours, we see this channel right here. You see this channel right here. So price so far has been bouncing from support to resistance, from resistance back to support. So we got this support level again, and then price started pushing higher from that point. Okay, so as it is right now, this is still bullish for me. This is still bullish for me. And reason is because price did not close below this critical support level at 100.5. And for that reason, I can expect to see further move to the upside. I can expect to see further move to the upside. And what we are seeing right now for me would be a correction. This candle right here is quite aggressive, is quite aggressive. And then we may see a sweep of this candle before eventually we get that move to the upside. And again, tomorrow, I think we also have CPI data tomorrow, which may also impact prices right here. Okay, so with this in mind, we'll now head over to Euro USD to see what we have for the major pairs. So let's start with the Euro USD. All right. Now, of course, the Euro USD is inverse of the dollar index. Okay. So while the dollar was in a bearish move all through this period, we can see that Euro USD also has been bullish, you see, giving us series of higher lows and higher highs. Okay. And then eventually price got to this resistance area at around 1.12. And additionally, I also have a trend line right here that I have been watching, this trend line here. You can see how this trend line acted as resistance multiple times. You see it right here. We have got the first touch here. We got the other one here, even right here, before we got that break above the trend line. And now that price is back below it. Now, these 2 points, very critical for Euro USD, 1.1140 and 1.12. If you look back to what happened in the past, you will see why it's such an important level. First, we have this here. You see, price acted as resistance right here at the same 1140 level. If we continue to look back, we'll see more touches, even right here. Now, remember, this is daily. This is the daily time frame. And a few pips to the same 1140 right here. Okay, so because price has now closed back below the 1140 area, I'm using this rectangle to highlight this potential fake out that we're seeing here. Price broke above 1140, and then we're seeing a close back below that level. So what it means that is that the whole of the price here, I'm treating this as a fake out, meaning that that simply means a breakout that failed. Ideally, this should have, after we got this break above 1140 area, this should have continued to move to the upside, to say. But now that this is now acting as resistance one, and then we also got a close back below 1140, I'm treating the whole of this price area as a fake out. And I've mentioned a few times on this forum that when we get a fake out like this, usually it triggers an aggressive move in the opposite direction. It usually triggers an aggressive move in the opposite direction. So because we have now confirmed this as a breakout, what it means is that we're expecting an aggressive move to the downside, expecting an aggressive move to the downside. And of course, it's beginning to play out layer by layer gradually. Okay, so what that also means is that for the euro dollar, we'll be looking out for opportunities to sell. We're looking for opportunities to take sell trades. The first one presented itself here, and this was when we got NFP data. Yeah, this was when we got NFP data. We got a sweep of this level, and then price started pushing lower from that point. So moving forward, what I would expect for this is we get some retracement, and then price would now follow the trend, which is bearish. Now, all of this again is happening on the daily time frame. So heading to 4 hours, let's see what it looks like. Okay, this is what we have in 4 hours. Okay, so this is moving average 50. This is moving average 50. So what we can expect here is for price to maybe come back to somewhere close to this moving average before we eventually get that further push to the downside. Okay, so I'll be looking for an opportunity to sell after this pullback. I'll be looking for an opportunity to sell. I trade in the direction of the trend. I'm not going to take a trade right here because I see that it's going up. That doesn't mean it's a buy. We cannot neglect what we are now seeing. We cannot neglect this bearish move. We cannot neglect it. Okay, so I'll be looking to take a buy. Number one, after a pullback to somewhere close to this moving average 50, or if I see a break below this support level, then I would look to take my sell from that. We also have a trend line right here. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking out for Euro USD. Like I said, number one, wait for a pullback to somewhere close to this moving average 50, if you look at the properties, is moving average 50. Or if I get a break below this support level, then I'll look to take myself right from there. All right. Angel, no, it's not 5 minutes. I started on the daily time frame and then went down to H4. If you like, you can go on to even H1. It remains the same, Okay, H1 is looking a lot more convincing. This is H1. Let's look at 30 minutes. Okay, it's beginning to play out on 30 minutes. On 30 minutes, price has already pushed to the moving average 50, and then we see reversal right here. Okay, so the sell is beginning to look more attractive on the 30 minutes time frame. The sell is beginning to look more attractive. This green candle is already at the 50 moving average. It's giving us a reversal pattern. Looks more like a dark cloud cover. Here we got a bearish engulfing pattern, and then price pushed lower from there. From this point, price pushed lower from there. And then here, price returned to moving average 50. It's giving us a reversal as well. And then we can expect price to push to the downside from that area. All right, so that's it for euro dollar. That's it for euro dollar. Moving on to the pounds USD right now. Of course, very similar to what we have for euro dollar. Very similar. We got the fake out right here for the pounds dollar. We got the fake out. And then again, like I said, for euro dollar, when we get a fake out like this, usually it triggers an extended move in the opposite direction. Okay, so again, we'll be waiting for some form of correction right here too, waiting for a pullback so that we can join the trend. Okay, so now this is daily again. This is happening on the daily time frame. We got this move to the downside. We got this pullback, and then we're seeing a lower low right here. Okay, so right about now, we expect price to give us a lower high so that we can now join the trend, All right. I want to take that out. Now this is daily, so we're going to head over to 4 hours to see what we have. Okay. How about 1 hour? Okay, 1 hour for pounds USD is looking more constructive. Okay, so what I'll be looking out for 1 hour time frame for pounds USD is a reversal. On 1 hour time frame, price has already tested the 50 moving average. Price has already tested the 50 moving average, and then what I now need is wait for price to close on this 1 hour. How about 30 minutes? Okay, the same thing. We also need to wait out this 30 minutes time frame. So at the end of 30 minutes, if we get a reversal pattern right there. Now, this one here, of course, you can see how it acted as resistance previously. Now, what happened? Let's look at that level. Starting from the daily time frame. And that level is around 1.3950. It's around 3950. Now, what happened at that level? Here it was support. Here it was resistance. Let's see if we get more touches. We have more touches. Okay, that same level, 3950, acted as resistance as far back as this level here. Okay, so currently what it means is that this also 39.50 is a significant price level. So it is at that point that I'll be expecting a reversal pattern that will give me the confidence to go short on pounds USD, to short pounds USD. All right, so let's go back to 30 minutes. Okay, so I'm waiting for a reversal to happen right there so that I can short, that is sell. Okay, so that's it for pounds USD. Euro USD, pounds USD, we're waiting for fantastic opportunities to sell right there. Okay, so this is who? Adeyemi Adenika. Okay, hopefully we get there. Walex Baron, you're welcome. You are welcome. Okay. How about AUD USD? All right, what's happening here? Okay, so we got resistance as at 0.68. We got resistance at 0.68, and then price has been pushing to the downside from that level. Okay, so the same thing, because USD is also the counter currency right here. That means we can also expect this to be bearish. We can also expect this to be bearish. And then it's been bearish from this 0.68 level. So what's happening on H4? Again, we'll also be looking for opportunities to take sales from here. You said this is looking really good. We got a low, we got a lower high right here. We got lower low, we got lower high. We said we got a new low, and right about now, we may see a lower high back to this resistance. Initially was support, 0.67 initially was support. Supported price here, supported price right there again. So what it means is that when we get a push, price may retest this 0.67 and then we can now take sell from that point. And again, price may not retest, it may just continue to push to the downside from this point. And the way to join that would be to now see a break below this support area. So let's see 1 hour. What do we have on 1 hour? Okay. This is the 50 EMA, and then price is beginning to push away from that 50 EMA. So at the end of this current hour, this current candle, if it closes bearish, then we may expect further push to the downside for AUD USD as well. We may expect further push to the downside for AUD USD as well. Okay. Alex Baron, yeah, we have the sessions every day. You may also want to join our basic classes so that you can have more understanding since you're new here. All right. But every day on this forum, we analyze the market to check out what is happening and then look for trade ideas. So we have it Monday to Friday. All right. USD JPY, what's happening here? USD JPY. Okay, it's also one that I've been watching. We got this aggressive move to the downside. Now here, you will notice that USD is the base currency here. And for all of the factors that I mentioned earlier, this has also been bearish. This has also been aggressively bearish. And then it also got back to this 2023 low right there. And then we're now beginning to see some push to the upside. All right. So this level here is going to be a level to watch as it is a resistance that price is now currently testing. So the way to trade this would be to wait for a break above that resistance so that this resistance can now turn to support, and then we begin to take our buys from there. This is a resistance level right now, and we're not supposed to buy at resistance. So what we want to see is price breaking above the resistance. If we get a retest, fantastic. If we get a retest, it's fantastic for price retesting it at support for further confirmation. And then we begin to see uh, a push to the upside from that point. All of this happening on the daily time frame. Okay. So let's head over to 1 hour, 30 minutes to see what it looks like. Okay. So this is it on 30 minutes. And this is the resistance that I pointed out on the daily time frame. This is the resistance that I pointed out on the daily time frame. So what we need here, we're waiting for price to break above the resistance so that the resistance can turn to support. And then we begin to buy at support instead of buying at resistance. Okay, so that's it for USD JPY. Okay, Angel says the bullish engulfing pound USD H1. Okay, now don't forget, like I said, price has been bearish. Okay, now even though it is bearish, of course, we'll see corrections at different points. So the way I'm going to treat this is a correction, which is a pullback. Okay, which is a pullback. So what I need to see here is a reversal pattern. This here initially was support, you see it? So this same point has now turned to resistance. So price is currently here. Even though it is above this candle here, closed above the resistance. So what I need here is to now wait for the next candle to close back below that resistance so that, sorry, that support now, so that I can now turn to resistance. I can now turn to resistance. And then I sell from resistance. Okay. Yeah, depending on the setup I see, either on 1 hour or 30 minutes. That's for a pen scheme. So I wait for a good pattern to take entry, either on 30 minutes. If I see it early on 30 minutes, I take it, or on 1 hour. Okay. So let's see the other requests that we have. I have oil and then the indices. Okay. So let's take USD card, USD CHF. Okay. How about gold? Gold has been ranging. You see, gold has been kind of stuck in this range between 2530 to 2480. Has been stuck within that range, moving from support to resistance, from resistance back to support. Okay, so the way to trade this would be to wait for a breakout eventually, and price will either break to the upside or break to the downside. So depending on which side it breaks through, that would determine how we trade this. Okay, but for now, selling at resistance, buying at support is what is ideal right now until we get a more convincing direction for gold. How about oil? What do we have on oil? Okay, this has been bearish. All right. So here, uh, we got this low. We got a lower high as a correction. We got this is a double bottom, and then price failed to create new high right there, and then we got a lower low. We got a lower low. Now that lower low, let's look back to see happening around 71.64, even right here. 71.64. Okay, that's quite significant. Even here, all the way throughout this period, acted as support 71.64. Okay, so what are we going to get here? What it means is that that 71 area is quite significant. Okay, let me do this. You see how price has been struggling around that area. Price has been struggling for 3 days now. It has stayed on that same level for 3 days now. Okay, so if we get a close below that level, then the bearish move is expected to continue, or we get a retest. We get a pullback from that level. So even though it is bearish, you don't want to just jump in right there for a sell. You have to wait for an ideal scenario or an ideal setup to join the trend. So number one, we wait for a convincing break below this current level. Price has been stuck for about 3 days now. Price is almost on the same spot. So number one, we wait for a convincing break below that level. Or number two, we get a retest, a push back to this resistance here. By the way, I'm using the Fibonacci tool to mark that level. Okay, so we get a push back to this resistance and then take sales from there. Now, all of this again is on daily. How about 4 hours? Let me take out this trend line so it's more visible. Okay, and again, this is 50 moving average, 50 period. All right, so that's 4 hours. This is 1 hour. This is 1 hour. So currently on 1 hour time frame, the 50 period moving average is now acting as resistance. It's now acting as resistance. Okay. And then I think we also have a trend line here. All right, perfect. Okay, so for me to take sell, I would need to see a break below this trend line. This trend line obviously has been acting as support. You see it, multiple touches at that point. So if I'm going to take a sell, I would need price to close below that trend line for me to follow that bearish trend that we see. Or the other scenario would be to get a push back to the moving average 50. We can see if we look back, you see every time price returns to moving average 50, it pushed lower from there. You see it pushed lower from that point. So we can have the same expectation for this current level. So if eventually price returns to the 50 period moving average, then I'll be looking for a sell from there. I'll be looking for a sell. Why am I looking for a sell? It's because the overall direction is still bearish. You see it, we started from there. The overall direction is still bearish. All right. So that's it for oil. That's it for oil. All right. So what do we have? What do we have? Pounds card. What's happening on pounds card? Okay. This is the one that I'm also interested in. Let me see if this trend line needs adjustment. Okay, it's good. All right. So pound card, as you can see, is currently trading between this channel, ascending channel, and then have this right here. Okay, so that's the resistance. Okay, that's the resistance here. Okay, so price is already very close to resistance. It's very close to resistance. So you don't want to be buying at resistance. You don't want to be buying at resistance. I would rather be waiting for a sell setup, waiting for a sell setup. And how is that going to happen? Number one, we see price push back to resistance. We see price push back to resistance, and then I'll be taking a sell from there. And we also have head and shoulder right here. Also have head and shoulder pattern right here. This is the head. Here we have the left shoulder. And then we have the right shoulder right there. Okay. Of course, you would agree with me. This is a bearish pattern. This is a bearish pattern. And then what we now need to wait for is a break of this neckline. It's a break of this neckline, which is at support area here. Okay. So number one, we're correct with the bias. If we get a retest of this resistance right here, let me put a horizontal line there so we can see the price level. Okay, so if we get a push back to this resistance, I wait for a sell setup from there, and then I take my sell. Or if it doesn't happen that way, and then instead we get a close below the neckline, that would also be a fantastic opportunity. And then especially what would further confirm that bearish move is if we now get a close below this trend line, then we can expect further push to the downside. All right, so that's for pounds card. We have quite a number of them now that we have added to our watch list for trade opportunities. All right. It's quite simple. It's quite simple. You just go to your, this is for Jennifer now. You just go to your indicators list, and then one of the indicators you have there is the 50, sorry, you would see moving average, and then you can edit it for your preferred settings. Like I said, what I have on the screen is the 50 period moving average. So if you go to your chart on the phone, you are going to click, you will see an F icon on top of your chart. You will see an F icon on top of your chart next to the crosshair tool. So you click that F icon. Once you click that F icon, you are going to see lists of indicators, and then you can add moving average to your chart. That's how you get it on your phone. Okay, what's happening on US 100? Okay, so for US 100, it kind of peaked around here at that resistance. And then price started pushing to the downside from that point. Okay, so we got the low here, and then we got a lower high. Okay. So what it means is that we're expecting this to give us a lower low. Okay, we're expecting this to give us a lower low if the downtrend would continue, or this could also signal another push to back to the resistance. Now this is daily. This is daily time frame. Let's see what we have on 4 hours. Let's see what we have on 4 hours. Okay, so I can see this trend line on 4 hours, trend line support. All right. And then we're seeing series of lower highs and lower lows. Okay. So currently, this was the last lower low. And then we're beginning to see lower high. Okay. So what it means is that we'll be looking for opportunity to sell. We'll be looking for opportunity to sell. Okay. This is 4 hours now. This is 4 hours. How about 1 hour? Okay. This is what we currently have on 1 hour. Let me thicken this a little bit. All right. So as it is now, price is now back at 50 moving average. So at this point, we now look for uh, a sell setup from there. We now look for a sell setup. Okay. Now this is 30 minutes. On 30 minutes, it's already above 50 moving average. So what it means is that we may expect price to come back to this resistance. We expect price to come back to this resistance right here before we then take a sell. Before we then take a sell. On 30 minutes time frame. All right. So on 30 minutes time frame for US 100, this here is the level to watch. This here is the level to watch. Now, I'm going to use my horizontal line to highlight that level. Okay. So now that it is currently above the 50 period moving average, we may expect price to one, push to this resistance, and then we take sales from there. Or if we do get a close back below the 50 EMA right here, then that would also signal a sell opportunity from that point. It will also signal a sell opportunity from that level. Okay, so we've been able to touch on quite a number of instruments for today. I hope we add them to our watch list so that we can take advantage of their movements. I'm not sure I have CAD JPY here. Okay. It's quite similar to what we have for USD JPY and pound JPY as expected. Okay. So we have resistance right there. We have resistance right there where price pushed. You see it, even here at this point, we have the support. Okay. So I'm trying to mark out the important levels. All right. And then I can also use my Fibo. Okay. So this is a daily time frame. This is daily time frame, and price is beginning to respect this support level. Okay. So what it means is that after this pullback, we may then look for opportunity to sell. Let's see if I put indicator trend moving average 50 is stick. Okay. This is daily. How about 4 hours? All right. How about 1 hour? Okay. So currently price is above moving average 50, but there is also a resistance right here around 106 level. Okay. So number one, if we get it close above that level at 106, if we get it close above that level, then we may see further push to the upside. We may see further push to the upside. However, if on the other hand, we get a reversal at that level, then the bearish move is bound to continue from that point. All right. So this is where we are going to draw the curtain for today's session of our morning market review. Don't forget, we have news for CAD later today. We're going to see some volatility because of the speech. Olatunde. All right, that's fantastic. Okay. So let's not forget that we have news for the CAD later today, and then join us same time tomorrow for another session of the morning market review from 8 a.m. as well. All right. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's been a great session with you all. Have a wonderful trading day and week ahead. Thank you, everyone.